no!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Faces of Carlsbad. We're sponsored by Intrepid Potash, and this is Channel 23, and we bring to you people that you've seen around town, people that you might never have met before, people that you would like to see more of. We've had handsome men and beautiful women in this thing.
Oh no!
And I don't think we've ever had a bad performer. Oh, except me. And of course, we'll excuse that. But anyway, we're very, very pleased to introduce to you a very lovely young lady. Her name is Brianna Clemmer. Brianna, welcome to Channel 23.
You. Thanks for letting me be here.
Well, I'm going to bring up a little something before we get started on this.
Okay.
We've been down here numerous times, and we've asked you numerous times, would you like to be on Channel 23? And you've said no, no, no. And I thought, we're going to get that lady on TV if it's the last thing we do. So Guy Lutman and I got together about a week or so ago, and we planned all this. So we trapped you into this, right?
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, we're pretty sneaky. Anyway, we're Intrepid Potash and Channel 23. They're very pleased to have you here.
Thank
on
you.
the Faces of Carlsbad. Now, let's go back a little bit in your background with your grandparents and where they originally came from and your parents, and then we'll get to you.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm not really sure where my grandparents were born. I just know that they've kind of been all around in Texas, like in different cities and stuff when they moved. But my mom was, she graduated in Jal, New Mexico.
Jal? Well, stop right there for a minute. I've been in this state for many, 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 many years. And I've never been to Jal, and I keep telling people they won't let me drive my car down there because they don't think it would make it there. I said, well, please, can somebody please take me to Jal so I can see this city, this town, this village? And nobody has done it yet. Have you been to Jal before?
My grandparents still live there.
They do? It's a nice little village, isn't it?
Yeah, if you blink your eyes a couple times, you might miss it, but...
Is that right? Is that
it's a little small town.
Oh, it's a small town. Okay. So anyway, grandparents live there now, and they came from Texas originally. I see. Do you have any idea where in Texas?
I know that they lived in San Antonio and Dallas and places like that, but I'm not sure like where they started. But my grandparents used to live, my other grandparents, my dad's parents, used to live in Kermit, and now they live in Alamogordo.
Oh.
And my dad was born in Kermit and graduated Kermit High. So we lived there until I was in first grade, and then we moved here when my dad's job got transferred.
I see. Well, you mentioned Alamogordo, and I just heard recently that Alamogordo's having a tough time with their library, that the county, Otero County, is cutting off funds to their library for some reason, and that people who go to their public library might have to pay money to get a book out for a week or so.
I did not
thought
know
that's
that.
kind of, yeah, I just heard that just recently. That's sad because Alamogordo is a pretty city, I think. That whole
think so
area over
too.
there is beautiful. But anyway, and then your parents, they moved to Carlsbad because your father was working here, was that it?
Yes, sir. They waited until my sister graduated high school so she wouldn't have to move her senior year. So my dad drove back and forth every day from Kermit to here, and then after she graduated, we all moved over here.
And what does Dad do? Is he...
He used to work for Bobco, but now he's a consultant for a guy in Artesia. I don't remember which company it is. He's told me 1,000 times, and I cannot remember the name of it.
Don't feel badly. I can't remember anything. So anyway, but so does he go to Artesia a lot in his job?
He works in the oil field, so he kind of is all over a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The past few ones that he's had is about an hour out of town. I'm not sure which way. I think like the Hobbs way or something, Jow. It's either one of those, but he does it a lot. But he likes it. He really does.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And Mom does
She works at the gift jar down the street.
Oh, I see.
Yes, sir.
So the family's very busy.
Sometimes, yeah.
Now you had you were telling us before we went on the air that you have a twin brother.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little about. I've never been around twins before. Tell us a little bit about growing up with a twin brother and some of the things you went through as the female of the family.
Well, growing up when we were little babies, my parents told us that we like had to be next to each other. Like we had to take naps together. We had to sleep with each other because like if one of us wasn't there, we'd start crying because we were just so like attached to each other. And then growing up like in elementary school and middle school, we're very different. I was like the athletic one, the outgoing one, and he's the brains kind of off on his own type of thing. And he would get bullied sometimes.
Oh dear.
And I finally got to the point where I'd stick up for him. And but in high school we got really close. We finally just realized that it's not going to be forever, that we aren't going to be able to round each other. I mean, of course we fought a lot because we're the same age. We get under each other's skin just like any other brother and sister. But we really do love each other and we're always there for each other.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
And he's off in Portales going to college at
Eastern New Mexico University, yeah.
And so once we realized that that's where he was going, we like over the summer we were like never apart really. Like we just got so close. And it was really hard on us when he left, but he's doing really good and I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I have a daughter, Kathy, who graduated from Eastern New Mexico University. It's a good school.
Oh yeah.
And they have a good radio station up there too, you know, which I listen to at midnight till 6 in the morning because I like classical music. So what's your brother's name?
Derek.
Derek. And then you had another sister?
Another brother as well.
And another brother. Are they both older or younger than you?
Older.
Older. And what are they doing now?
My brother works in Midland. He's in the oil field as well. I don't know which company.
Yeah.
And my sister's here. She got transferred from Kermit, and she's working here at Keystone Pump and Supply.
So the family is busy. And Mom stays there and makes sure all of you behave?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's definitely the boss.
She's the boss.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your twin brother, did he ever get over that being picked on by people? That bothers me when people do that.
He kind of, I get used to bug him when he was younger, and then he just finally realized, like our parents would like tell him, like our whole family told him, you know, those people that are calling you nerd now, they're going to be calling you a boss later on in life because you're the one that's going to be like in the top like jobs and everything. So he just kind of got over it. Like we all just like in our family just have a outgoing personality and we really don't care what people think and like we just be ourselves. So we just ignore what people have to say sometimes.
That's good. Sounds like your family is very well balanced.
Well, thank you.
No, I'm really pleased to see that. A lot of families out there are disorganized, and of course my family's not disorganized. I am, but they're not. Your dad is probably well organized.
I don't know.
So anyway, you went to school here and you graduated, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're taking up computers and all that stuff, all that internet stuff. Huh? Oh, you're good at that. That's impossible for me to even understand.
Yeah, I like my phone. I don't go anywhere without it.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Mr. Lutman is like that. You know, he never goes anywhere. The only problem he goes without his phone. He goes with his phone. But the sad thing is he never answers his phone. He is the minute he knows that I'm calling, he refuses to answer the phone.
I know how that is.
Now, if my wife calls, that's different. He's very polite to her. And it's just, I don't know, it's just me. I had family members that felt that way about me too. They didn't want to talk to me.
I understand.
Yeah. So anyway, what do you do in your spare time?
Well, I go hang out with my friends. We go to the movies or just hang out at somebody's house. Even though I graduated, I was very into the whole like going to the sports stuff, and so I go to the games as much as I can and cheer on the Carlsbad Cavemen and Cave Girls. I think it's really important for them to have like the fans and stuff. because
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be out on the court for basketball and nobody cheering or anything.
Yeah.
So it's hard. So, but yeah, I'm very into like hanging out with my friends and family and just having a good time.
Now, did you play basketball in high school?
Mhm. All 4 years.
All 4 years.
Mhm.
You had pretty good teams up there too, didn't
Mhm.
you? Yeah.
We tried our best.
Yeah. Well, that's the best thing you can do is to give it a 100% shot, because even if you lose, you learn from each loss and you
Definitely.
get better.
Mhm.
And I saw this a while back where one of the coaches who had a tough game said, well, we have more games to play and we're going to get better. I'm going to see that we get better. And that's what a good coach is supposed to tell a
It's
student.
very true.
Yeah. Do you like to read?
I do sometimes. I try a lot too, but I don't get around it a lot. But I like it.
Yeah.
I like the mystery books.
Do you? Who are some of your favorite authors?
I honestly don't pay attention to the authors.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay. But you like the mysteries anyway. Yeah. You ever hear of Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine?
No, sir.
Yeah. Famous mystery magazine.
Okay.
Two friends put it together many years ago.
Uh-huh.
They have a lot of short stories in there written by many favorite people. You know, my favorite was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You ever hear of him before? Did you ever hear of Sherlock Holmes? Yeah, he was the author of the Sherlock Holmes books.
Oh, okay.
And my favorite he had 56 short stories and 4 novels, and my favorite was The Hound of the Baskervilles. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
And I still have students coming up many years later saying they still like to read The Hound of the Baskervilles. So you got to get interested in this.
I
We're going to
will.
get you interested in this. You'd love it. So anyway, what about movies? Now, you said you like to go to the movies. Any particular actor or actresses that you like to see?
I love Jim Carrey. I think that he's just so funny, and Adam Sandler. Just really all the comedians. Like, I just love funny movies. I think they're awesome. Scary movies, not the biggest fan of them, but I don't know. There's too many actors and actresses that I just love. I can't pick out my favorite.
Did you, let's see, some of the funny ones was the guy who plays Frasier. Have you ever seen that program? That's a funny one. You ever
I
seen?
don't think so.
Yeah, he's a commentator on a Seattle station
Oh, okay.
in Washington D.C. and he's always getting into trouble. And his brother's really weird. If you ever watch any of those, you'd like them.
I bet I would.
And then you were mentioning some of the comedians that you like. What about the actresses? You have any favorite actresses?
Sandra Bullock. I think that she's just awesome.
She is.
Amanda Bynes, before she went off the deep end, I was in love with her. She was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. It's hard.
It's quite sad to see some of these people who have everything going for them.
Oh, I know.
And they get involved in something that they shouldn't be getting involved in, and their whole career goes down the hill. And then many times some of them pass away at young ages. That's sad.
Oh, yeah.
And probably one of the greatest singing stars of all time, as far as popularity went, was, well, all of a sudden my brain has gone dead, but drugs and alcohol
Oh,
just
I
did him
know.
in.
It's horrible. It's really
Yeah.
sad.
I don't want to mention his name because I don't want people to say, oh, I'm picking on certain people. But you stay busy quite a lot, don't you?
I try to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you get home at night, your mother remembers who you are because you're so busy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you help a lot around the house?
I try to. I do the dishes, and I clean the kitchen, and I have to take care of my pet, so.
Oh, stop right there. What kind of pets do you have?
A dog.
And what's
little
his
puppy.
name?
Her name is Zoe.
Zoe?
We found her in our garage.
Oh my gosh.
I guess somebody just left her there or just dropped her off. We don't know, but we found her, and my mom's like, no, we don't need another dog. Like, we have the perfect dog, and me and my dad said that we were going to keep her anyways, so we did, and she was mad for a long time, but She's a hyper little dog. She drives me crazy, but I love her.
Oh, that's nice, Silly. How'd you come up with that name?
I don't know. It just kind of just hit me one day.
It's different. It's a different name, yeah. Now, who does she prefer in the family now?
Me, I guess, in a way. I don't know. Like, she likes all of us.
Yeah.
Like, if we're all in the living room, she'll go and lay on my mom's blanket and go to sleep. But, like, she, like, follows me like a little shadow, like,
Well,
everywhere I go.
You're the one then. That's the way it is. And you have another dog, did you say?
Yes, we have another one that's, like, 9 years old, I think. And his name is Gizmo.
Gizmo. I know a lady who has a cat called Gizmo. I'll be darned. That's
They're
fantastic.
both cute, though. They hate each other, but...
Oh, they do?
Well, Gizmo hates her, but she's just this regular puppy that wants to play, but he's just like like an old dog. He doesn't want to do anything except lay around, so...
It's like an old man. Yeah, like me.
No.
But anyway, so anyway, do you take any trips? Have you taken any trips during your vacations?
Over the summer for our senior trip, we went to California, to LA, and Hollywood and everything, like with our whole family, to Disneyland and Universal and all that fun stuff.
Wow. So you went to Disney World, huh? What ride did you enjoy the most?
That's a tough one. I like the Tower of Terror. That was pretty cool.
The Tower of Terror. My gosh, is that the one that goes all the way up and then all of a sudden you drop down rapidly? Oh yes, I think I saw something like that in Disney World down in Orlando, Florida. Oh, it's scary.
I know, it was pretty cool though. I don't know, like, there's a couple more, but I don't remember what the names were. But, you know, Universal, it doesn't have like many, or Universal and Disneyland don't have very many rides. It's more about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So we had our nieces and my nephew with us, so we're trying to get them to like see all the princesses and all that kind of stuff. So we got to meet all the little cartoons.
Oh my.
And, you know, we're all kids at heart, so it was fun.
When you went to football games, have you seen anything besides high school football games, college football games, or
I went to a Texas Tech game for football last year. I really wanted to go to a Broncos game, but I don't know if it's going to be able to happen.
You're a Denver Bronco fan? Sorry to hear that.
Hey, they're doing good.
I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, and we're not doing well. But I did see something on television recently. At the halftime at Ohio State University football game, they're dancing, their band, one of the most fantastic bands I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
They put on an Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson act with their whole band, and it was unbelievable.
It was really cool. I saw a video of it.
Wasn't that something to see? And it's too bad that they don't show the bands during the halftime.
Oh, I know.
Instead of those announcers who come on and all they talk about is more football, which we already know because we've been sitting there watching the game.
Exactly.
Well, do you play a musical instrument?
I do not. I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano and the guitar, but I'm very impatient when it comes to that kind of stuff. So.
Impatient. You know, it's nice to talk to somebody who's impatient. Around here, everybody's very patient, you know. They never get upset at all. Well, once in a while they do.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes.
So what's in the future for Brianna?
I'm really into drawing. I've always done it since like 3rd grade. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and I really want to do something with it. I'm just not sure what. I really want to go to school for it, but I'm really just not into school right now, so we'll just have to see. And I want to get into photography as well.
Oh, photography and artwork. Now, let's get to the artwork first. What do you like to draw mostly?
Just anything, really. I've drawn people. Like, I drew pictures of my nephew and his dad and my parents and just a bunch of cartoons, like different stuff. I've drawn, like, puppies and little, like, I drew a football player one time and the head of a dragon.
Oh, the head of a dragon?
Just really all sorts of stuff.
that had to be an inborn thing that you have that most people don't have.
Yeah.
I tried that years ago, and about the only thing I could do was stick figures.
Oh, yeah.
It's really sad, isn't it? And so, photography. What do you like to photograph mostly? Scenes or people or?
I like scenes like sunsets, and I think snow and rain are pretty cool like to get pictures of.
Yeah.
And I've taken pictures of my nieces and my nephew, you know, just capturing like little moments. I think it's really cute.
Well, during the month of, I would say the months of June, July, and August, some of our sunsets are so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you could see them anywhere else in the world that
I
are
don't
as
think
pretty
so
as they are
either.
going over, dropping behind the hills and the mountains in the west. Have you ever taken a picture of any of those sunsets?
No.
Do that.
I will.
Yeah, when we start getting in the years to come, warm weathers, weathers. Oh, brother, I got my brain going. Warm weather, please do that because you get some fantastic
Oh,
pictures.
yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Brianna, for being our guest, and I'm telling you, it's so nice to interview somebody, even though we threatened you with your hands behind your back if you don't do this. I hope you forgive us.
Of course.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me.
Brianna, thanks a million. And on behalf of Channel 23 and Intrepid Potash and all the nice people that we've interviewed, goodbye and good luck. Well, anyway, I shake your hand.